If you were to look at our two kids, one who has social media and one who lies about having social media, that's a separate conversation.
Yep.
You wonder why it's stressed out.
We just discovered
gosh.
that our daughter was actually paying our son.
This is a really cool
really cool parent
story
moment.
and
Such a cool parent
fail by
We discovered
us,
that our
guys.
daughter was paying our son a monthly stipend so that he didn't tell us that she had Snapchat.
He was hiding it.
Which feels great.
Super cool.
Feels great. Feels like a real parent win. Welcome to this week's episode of Teaching Keating.
Hello.
Hi, Momo.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Should we go full disclosure on where we're at?
We've had better days. It's
Yeah.
been an up and down week. In fairness, we've had a lot going on and we haven't seen each other a lot. So when we're both coming and going, probably in the last 2 weeks, because we had to go get, we had some travel. You had some travel. I had some separate travel.
Yeah.
Then we had to come back together. Then you had to go somewhere else. I was home. We've been with the children doing their various activities. So it's been a lot of transition.
A lot of stressors in our house. So
Yeah.
full disclosure, like Molly and I are coming into this podcast fresh off like
Fresh
off like an 18 to 24 hours of
It wasn't 18 to 24. That's dramatic.
conflict.
No, just disagreement.
Just disagreement.
It hasn't
Okay.
been open conflict the whole time.
And in
Yeah.
fairness, I'm probably the source of that conflict.
I didn't say anything. Such is the life of marriage and summertime and your kids home and you're going 800 different directions and you're
People-
trying to align on different things. It just
People have asked me on the road before, like, hey, like you and Molly don't seem to like fight or argue on the podcast. You guys like
Yeah,
not
we
fight or
talk
argue
about this.
in our marriage?
Yeah,
It's like, we
lies
fight and
all the
argue all
time.
the time. Like it's one of the reasons why we started doing it in this format is because there'd be times when we were just like in an argument at home and we didn't want to sit down and talk to each other.
Yeah, we had to stop the podcast.
And then all of a sudden the podcast is like super inconsistent. It's like, hey, where was the episode this week? It's like, well, my wife and I are fighting with each other and we didn't feel like
we needed to take some space.
we didn't feel like
so we
sitting
couldn't
down
get in the office together
and talking
and do it.
in front of people recorded.
Sometimes you just don't always need the recording of whatever is happening in your life. And we're in a business together. You know, we have our own, everything is connected for us. We are in a marriage, we share children, we have family life, and we also have a working relationship. So that's a lot of layers to try and deal with your spouse all the time.
And it actually...
and align.
Yeah. And
that's a lot.
It's actually a perfect segue for our podcast today. Our friend Megan Sturr,
shout out Meg.
texted right as we were on our way into the studio.
Well, because her son has to pick up our son for camp, and we organizing logistics,
all the things. And she said, she was like, "Hey, you guys should do a podcast on like why people have gotten so mean and angry lately." And I was like, "Oh,
sounds good.
I've been mean and angry lately. Perfect topic."
That's good.
Like in fairness, I've been in a mood the last couple days.
Well, you have a lot happening. You had a recent birthday. I think you're feeling a little midlife-y. I think there's a lot going on.
I told Mom I'm feeling a lot midlife-y. So
we're just dealing with all the feels right now.
I just had my 44th birthday.
Yeah, in addition to us dealing with the children and all the other things.
Yeah.
There's just a lot happening, and summer's always busy for us.
I literally told Molly last week, I was like, hey, like, I don't know what's going on in my brain right now, but like, keep a close eye on me. Like, don't let me buy anything stupid.
Yeah, you did say that was really funny. I started laughing hysterically, and you were like, "I'm serious." I go, "I know."
It's not a joke. Like
don't go out and get a Rolex.
I am really
or a car.
I am really wrestling with like,
you are.
Okay, 44. This for sure is the halfway point for me.
Oh, yeah, I
Probably
think you need
farther.
to, yeah. I mean, I think last year when I said, okay, I'm halfway to 90, here we go. And you were like, that's your perspective?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's real deal. It hits you.
I'm not making it to 90.
It's weird when it shows up. You don't know, you don't know the future. None of us do. It's weird when it shows up, though, and you start feeling like, ooh, this feels a little bit weird. For women, I think it's different because I think we're always...
Because you outlive us.
Well, we do, but then I also feel like fertility is always added into that. Like you stop having children, and then you transition out of all of those things, and just hormonally it looks a little different for ladies. So I just think we're always thinking about it, because it's always into the next season, into the next season,
Right.
into the next season. It's a constant transition by the way of our biology.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I feel like men don't have that, because you can have babies your whole life, and you can technically.
Yeah. I don't have the biological thing, but
Sure.
like, dude, the kids entering into the stages that they are.
Yeah, that's
so,
been
like,
tricky.
Charlotte was in Salt Lake for
We were just talking about this.
for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So like on college campus living in, so it was like a nice dress rehearsal for college.
Yeah. She's only 14.
I did not do well.
No.
I did not do well.
I talked to her every morning. We had a good rotation. I would call
not having our
in the
team
morning when
under
she's
the
getting
same
ready. Yeah.
roof.
Yep.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's a real rough
freaking
control
hate it.
thing. Yeah.
I love our team. And so like having her gone was a real struggle.
Yeah.
And then Everett's about to get his license here in the next couple
a lot
of
of
weeks.
transition this summer.
And then I got a text message from Megan yesterday saying like, hey, Keegan's got his license. He'll start picking the boys up for practice. And I was like, shit. Like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Carpool, like
We're done.
That carpool time with the boys.
Yeah, I could trap them in the car.
That's gone. Like, we were driving back from camp, and I got that text message, and I was like, this is the last one.
Oh.
This is the last one.
You don't, but so much good stuff is coming too. It's hard. You can grieve.
That.
I know. I'm grieving it too in different ways, and I think all of those things. It's just all hitting at the same time.
Yeah.
It's been a really tumultuous
And then I got a call.
couple weeks.
I got a call from my friend Graham yesterday.
Oh, good. Yes.
I love how you're acting surprised. He told me he got a text from you.
Yeah, he did. He always throws me under the bus.
Yeah.
But rightly so.
In
You were
fairness,
in a mood, and it was
he told me at the end of the conversation.
Okay, he can always sort of pull you out in ways that I cannot.
It does take. We've talked about it. It takes multiple people to be married to me.
Yep.
And there are times
there's a team of us
when you call in reinforcements. And so he and I talked for like a half hour yesterday.
Great.
He's like, Dale.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just, you know,
he can really talk you off the ledge.
Yeah.
Can really talk you off the ledge in ways that I cannot sometimes.
Okay.
Because of all the things that we just stated.
Yeah.
Because of all the ways that we are entrenched together and just walking through this life. He has a little bit more perspective. He's in a different state. He can just give you a little help.
Yeah. All that being said.
Like, when we're angry.
Yes. All that being said, I've definitely been more angry.
Sure.
The last few days.
Yes.
Do you think people in general are more angry now?
Oh, that's a good
than
question.
They've been in the past?
Well, we talked about this. I think people definitely are after COVID. I think that really just stirred up so many things in just the underlying unconscious of the world that people hadn't dealt with, and everything just sort of came to the surface. I don't think it's anything new. I don't think it's things that weren't previously there, but I think when you just go about your daily life and you have your habits and you're going to work and you're doing the kids and you're, you know, like all that stuff that you're really sort of wrestling with underneath isn't coming to the forefront. But I do think when we all had that downtime, after the lockdown, I think all of that just sort of came rushing to the forefront for people, and it hasn't gone away. So I think probably I think there's a lot more stuff that people are wrestling with that they never did before, and they didn't realize that they were as probably frustrated or angry as they were. Yeah. I went to confession yesterday, which I'm not supposed to talk about. It's okay. I can talk about it if it's myself.
Yeah.
You're technically not supposed to talk about your sins once you've been forgiven. However, I can talk about what I talked about. It's my own, whatever.
Yeah.
But the priest said to me, it's really funny. He said, hey, so first of all, you did a great job. He was so wonderful and loving, and thank God for wonderful priests when you're in confession, because they really can make or break it for you. But he was like, you talked a lot about your feelings. He was like, so just for the record, in the future, those aren't sins. He was like, they can get a little bit convoluted, because I said, I'm really angry.
Yeah.
And he asked me like point blank, what are you angry about? Like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, I'm treating people like crap. And he was like, okay, that's a sin. He was like, stick with that. There you go. It made me laugh, because I thought like, oh, how long have I been confessing? And no priest has ever been like, hey, you're talking a lot about your feelings. And I was like, of course I am, because that's where I'm in my head.
Sure.
You know, but even the distinction of like, how is that presenting in your life? Like, where is that showing up in your actions and your relationships with other people? And I had to articulate to him. It's like, oh yeah, I'm treating people like crap. I'm super short fused with like my kids, or I'm just barking at people left and right. And he was like, great. I can work with that.
I think
it was very fun.
yeah.
It was great feedback. For like my education teacher brain, I was like, ooh, action,
I
great.
think that's good feedback.
It was great feedback.
Any other religious people we have
Yes.
listening to the podcast
Yeah.
of like, hey, your feelings aren't a sin, but how
Yeah.
they manifest can be.
Sure. Well, and not necessarily sinful, but it's just like if you're treating people like crap, that's not great. And I said to him, like, I don't want to be coarsened. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be living in this space. And he was like, great.
Yeah.
How does that show up in your actions?
Yeah.
And how can you shift that? It was actually so helpful. It was one of the better ones. I was very overjoyed.
Good.
Came out skipping.
Skipping out of the confessional.
I know. I don't know. I hope that's everyone's experience.
But I do think
there's a lot of anger that
there is a lot of
to
anger,
that,
and there's been
yeah.
some interesting. You talked about COVID. I actually
Yeah.
think this is, and the research says that this is a thing that is manifested even before COVID.
Okay.
So in 2019, Gallup did a poll because every year Gallup does polls about anger and sort of like the degree to which people feel angry. Gallup does polls on everything.
They do everything. They're very thorough.
And so one of the questions they asked participants in 2019 was like, hey, have you felt angry in the last 24 hours?
Sure.
And 22% of respondents said yes,
Yeah.
which is the highest number ever recorded in a year that Gallup has taken
That's
that
really
poll.
interesting. I would say that's true for us. I mean, we just admitted it. We for sure have
I've been angry in the last 24 hours. You've been angry. Okay, we're at 100%.
Yes.
Matt, have you been angry in the last 24 hours?
I hope not. Have
Yes?
you? Okay, good.
Oh, damn it. 3
well,
for 3.
I also feel like, and maybe this is, so I'm reading Anxious Generation right now.
Yeah.
Just bits and, like, I have to read lighter stuff at night because I can't go to bed because I'll just spin about it, but I'm reading it like during the days and like little bits and pieces. So it's taking me a while to get through it. But a lot of that research is the same. It tracks the same. Like 2012 was basically like the real sort of benchmark in terms of when technology changed, and rather than the flip phone, we all went to iPhones or whatever the option was at that point. And obviously Anxious Generation is relation to like kids and teenagers in their social media use.
Right.
But a lot of that is, anxiety, anger, frustration, depression, all of that. I do think part of us, with the invent of technology, and I don't want to blame it solely on technology, I think we just need to be less lazy about our habits. I know when you and I feel really angry or anxious, there's a lot of frustration around it. But a lot of times, at least on my end, I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for why you're angry. But it's things that my basic needs haven't been met. So like we haven't had family time.
Yeah.
We haven't sat down for a meal together. We haven't connected. You and I haven't connected, just like even in conversations, or I haven't talked to the kids, just like checked in about how they're doing. And if we haven't done that on a while,
we sat down.
I definitely feel angry and more anxious.
We sat down last night and had dinner as a family together. It
was great.
It made me feel instantly better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's dumb stuff. It's things that you know that you need, but you don't take. I know we always feel better when we walk after a meal, like as a family, when we walk the dogs. It's very minimal. It's something that's very easy. Just get outside and walk around the block and get out of your environment. We're not all in the house trying to do whatever we're doing.
It's so stupid. I hate that it works so well.
It works beautifully.
Yeah.
And especially in the summertime when we're all home and everyone's doing their own thing, that's hard too. There's just more people in the house.
Yeah.
So the kids, want more space, or they, or their room's stressing them out because they haven't cleaned it. There's just like there's more stressors. I think summertime, we have a lot going on. We have a lot of birthdays. We just have things going on. Summer's a really busy time for us. And so I think just taking a moment, whether it's, 10 or 20 minutes after a meal and just getting outside, leaving our phones at home, not talking, you do feel instantly better.
Well, that's one of
I think that's why I like my garden so much.
Yeah,
I like the outdoor quiet time in the morning. Go ahead.
They talked about okay, they went a step further. So here's what's interesting too. 1 in 4 Americans reports feeling angry a lot.
Sure.
And I don't know that I would report feeling angry a lot.
Right.
I would probably report feeling angry a moderate amount.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when I don't feel angry a lot. I probably feel more just like frustrated or irritated. But that doesn't, for me, I really try to qualify, that's not anger for me.
Yeah.
That's not fury. There's very few where I'm just like wanting to spit nails.
I feel annoyed. Yeah.
I think there's more just sort of underlying irritation. Like Matt was talking before we started about driving, and I was like, oh, I'm not a road rager, angry driver, but I have spoken in the past about how I do listen to classical music.
Yes, as a way to temper it.
But it's a really big deal. It really, my blood pressure goes down.
There's
it helps.
three,
anyway.
Like the research tells us there's 3 root causes to why people feel angry a lot.
Oh, I can't wait.
And
I don't know.
they are economic and social pressure, right?
Okay,
so those are the first 2. And the third one is social media.
Yeah.
Right? Because social media is designed to elicit emotion.
Yes.
Because the more emotion that social media elicits, the more likely we are to go back to that well.
Right.
And the easier of the 2 emotions to elicit is not joy, it's anger.
Right.
It's way easier to elicit rage.
It's interesting. Okay, sorry, I won't go back. This is not a commercial for the Anxious Generation book, but it has a lot of really important pieces in there. One of the things too, it just says in terms of social media, it's different what boys like, what their feeds are versus girls. Girls are like cute cats and not entirely like not. I mean, it's more like makeup tutorials and that sort of stuff. Like that's trends. Things they're like whether it's TikTok or whatever, what they're scrolling through. Boys, it's violence.
Really?
It's violence and anger stuff. Yes, they track differently in terms of things that they're scrolling through and then their feeds and how it looks. And it's really specific, which I find really interesting. But if you were to look at our 2 kids, one who has social media and one who lies about having social media, that's a separate conversation.
Yep.
You wonder why it's stressed out.
We just discovered that our daughter was actually paying our son.
This is a really cool
really cool parent
story
moment.
and
Such a cool parent
fail by us.
We discovered that
guys.
our daughter was paying our son a monthly stipend so that he didn't tell us that she had Snapchat.
He was hiding it.
Which feels great.
Super cool.
Feels great. Feels like a real parent win. There's part of that makes me
happy.
Talk
about anger.
Like, oh
that
man,
did
like our kids are
enrage me.
Are teaming up, but also they're teaming up against us, which doesn't feel good.
Also teaming up to do things that they know we are not
teaming
okay
up to be
with.
A couple little deviants.
Yeah. And it was a financial benefit to him, which is why he said yes.
And the only reason Everett told us was because she had missed a payment. And he was pissed.
So he was airing it out,
Just raising a real capitalist.
We're doing great things at our house.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. It's been a real summer of learning, everyone.
Here's what's interesting though. So
tell me more.
So anger is up.
Yeah.
Anger is up. What's interesting is that rates of violent crime are down. And those 2 things seem incongruent.
They do seem incongruent. I don't know. Is it because they're watching violence online and so they don't feel the need to like do it in real life? I have no idea.
I don't know. I think
that's pure conjecture. I have no idea. I can't even guess.
I think part of it, and this is a complete guess, shot in the dark. I think rates of violent crime are down because like the likelihood of getting caught committing a violent crime is way up.
Maybe. That's actually, that probably is really true.
Yeah.
Because you never know. There's cameras everywhere and somebody could record you and you have no idea what's happening. And,
I don't know.
We've seen that in the last, 5 to 10 years social media wise.
I don't know if that's a deterrent for people who commit violent crimes or not.
I hope it's a deterrent.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope so. I just hope,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do we do about it? I know what we have said, like what is helpful for us and our family. I don't think we do it as much as I would like us to do it, to sort of just realign and get back on the same page and sort of decompress and, I don't know, just get back to center.
What do you do? What do you do when you're angry
Sure.
to work your way out of it? Because I think you're better than I am at working your way out of anger. I'm a real stewer.
You are.
I don't know if you know this. I tend to stew in anger and sadness.
You do.
I wish I stewed
You like
in
to sit in
happiness.
it. Yeah.
I wish I
No.
sat in happiness, but
You
I don't.
to
Like
sit.
I do. I sit
You're
in
really, Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh at me because this is like an old trick. It's like the same thing I do in my classroom. Like you just change your physical surroundings.
Yeah.
So I don't like, as a general rule, I don't like to flee or escape. I think it's a bad idea.
I do. I like to flee, escape, and bury it deep down.
And
deep
stew.
down.
Like
okay,
put my head in the
here's
sand.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna work out for an hour and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna run off all this energy,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna bury it like a good German.
Okay. Some of that
Is that a good-
better
is that a
than
good
the
strategy?
others. No, the working out, dopamine
Yeah.
that you're working for
Earned
healthfully
dopamine.
is really
Yes.
good. I'm about that. I like to work out. Sometimes, like when I'm in a headspace where I don't want to work out, though, like if I'm constantly, like if I'm spinning out, like our daughter likes to say, I will just go on a walk or go do some other thing that's usually outside and usually like quiet by myself. So I obviously am a talker. I know that's very surprising to you. So I need to disengage from whatever I'm doing. So like if you and I are in a heated exchange, I don't need to talk more. I need to do the opposite of that.
Yeah,
I need
also
to be
don't want to do
quiet.
that.
I need to just level down, no chatter, nothing. And I need to go into a space and just sort of be. A lot of times I'll go to adoration or I'll go to church or I'll go to, something that just is a completely different space than the space that I'm in, because I need perspective and I need to get out of where I am. So it's not a fleeing aimlessly. It's a fleeing to something that's just in a healthier space. I like to work out, but sometimes, I won't always immediately do that. I just will change my surroundings, usually outside.
You and I do,
yes.
And I don't know that we've done this consciously,
okay,
but you and I will do this interesting thing. Like if we're in a big knockdown drag out,
sure.
It will get to a place where like the communication part, to your point, is unproductive
breaks down.
because you're saying words and I'm saying words, and those words are getting louder and louder, and they're just crossing each other simultaneously.
Sure, we just kind of fling them, but we're not listening.
Because we're both talking at the same time, but nobody's listening to another.
Yes.
And so there's moments like this happened yesterday where I'm just like, I'm done talking about this, and it's like out the door.
Yeah.
And you're like saying words to me as I'm headed out the door, and then what you and I end up doing is like you will text me. Like a long text, and then I will text you like a long text back, because in that, interestingly enough, that seems to diffuse things
a lot of the time.
Hold on, because of what's happening right now, which is like, it's like, okay, then you feel like you get to get out and say what you want said, and then I also feel like, okay, I get to get out and say what I want said without interruption, and I get a chance to like, if I'm smart, I really think about what I want to say. And I don't just fling bullshit out into space,
I know.
Right?
I actually used to hate text exchange because I think it's petty and a little bit and not a good way to communicate. However, I will say uniquely to you and I and our own communication, to your point, when we are both sort of flinging things at each other, it forces us. I mean, it's just a different process. You have to read first,
and we only do
it
when we've reached like a stalemate.
Sure, and it takes a moment. You can't read and write at the same time.
Right.
Well, no, you can't. And unless it's like, Siri reading it to you in the car or whatever through your voice. Yeah. Like that's not,
You got a long text for Molly. Do you want me to read it out loud? No.
No,
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because you're going to read it in a kind voice, and I know how she meant it.
I actually usually try to be really intentional, too, in text, because I have to. I can't fling things out. And sometimes because I am such a wordy human being, I don't want it to just be words. I have to really think about my intention, and it takes me a moment.
Yeah.
You're way quicker at texting than I am, and there's a reason for that. I need to take the time to sort of talk out what I want to say, but then it has to be in writing, and I do need that downtime to sort of process. I think that's helpful, especially when you're angry.
I actually think it's a good move that we've come up with. Like,
it's not ideal, but it works for us.
It's like, okay, here's a stalemate.
Sure.
Separate, back and forth via text, and then we come back and talk about it and clean it up.
Yes. Yeah, I'll say like for
it works for us.
It does work for us, and I'll say like for my children, when they want something, they like to text me first. My son is really funny. He kind of like baits me. He'll say "mom" and then nothing else, which is just like a real move. Like teenagers.
Oh, here comes a thing.
I know. What are you asking for? Just
Char
get
will do
to
the
it
same
already.
thing with me.
I know.
I'll get, hey dad.
Yes. ...
Yes. And I'm like, okay, here we go. She's asking for money or something.
If they're not in the house, which sometimes they will be in the house in Texas too, I just disengage completely, and I'll walk up to the room and be like, what do you need? What's this? Because I don't love that. I don't love that baiting sort of interaction. It's not my favorite either.
Yeah, not
so
my
I
favorite.
will disengage with text as much as I possibly can. But when you and I are so ramped up angry-wise, I think it's a good method to sort of diffuse. Yeah. What other things are you using to sort of diffuse anger? I mean, what do you think really makes you the angriest right now? Besides me.
Not being heard. Not being heard makes me so angry.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not good at putting my words and emotions together and conveying those in a way that I think is clear.
Okay.
And so in the moments when I try to do that, I get pissed because I'm like, I have done so much freaking legwork in my head to try to figure out what's the emotion. Okay, what's the words that match the emotion? And then when I fling them out and they're either not heard, not listened to, or talked over, it infuriates me.
It does.
Because I'm just like, dude, you're way better at that. Like you process more quickly, you communicate emotion better than I do. And so you're able to do that immediately. When I'm trying to do it, like I've put in so much freaking work. And so when that falls on deaf ears, oh my God, it sends me just absolutely over the edge.
It does.
Over the edge.
And I think you just collectively, I think like the things that we talked about before, like not necessarily social media, although you're on social media a lot. I mean, that's where you live. But like, I think some of the economics and societal pressures probably are impacting you currently right now, which is like the nature of things and the nature in flux. And when
I'm stressed about money and I've spent too much time on my phone, which both of those things are true right now. Like it, I am exactly the research that we just talked about.
Perfect storm.
Yeah.
And it's not that those things don't impact me. They do. I just don't. I know when I'm getting ramped up. It's funny you were saying, like, what podcasts are you listening to? Because I can tell you have mellowed out. And I said I've changed them up a little bit.
Totally.
And so I know that, that's a really important piece of information. Like, if I'm listening to too much political or whatever, that it just, and it's our son, rage bait. This is a really great term that all the cool kids have that I really appreciate, because it's a very clear sort of articulation, and phrase to be able to use exactly what's happening, I think, right now in culture, but primarily with you and I, which if I am listening to a podcast or something that's like a little bit more rage baity, if that's the terminology, it's not, but I know that I need to disengage, and I will. It's like, oh, this is just ramping me up for reasons, and these things are out of my control. It's making me angry. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
About the Middle East right now.
Whereas if I'm spending too much time on my phone, I get pissed, not because of what I'm watching. Like I'm not watching things, like I'm watching things that are like I'm trying to get them to make me laugh.
Yes.
But then I get pissed because I'm like, I just wasted so much time.
Well, and we talked about that with the kids.
That's the thing I get pissed about.
Yeah.
I was like, I just wasted an hour.
Right.
What an idiot. Which then makes me mad.
Yes.
And then it's just like, hey, I could have been dealing with this, and this.
Right.
That would have addressed the things that I'm actually stressed about, and I didn't. And the whole thing's just a cycle. Yeah. Well, let me go work out.
Yes.
And
well, and I think what's really difficult right now too, especially, and not angry, it doesn't make me angry, but it does give me anxiety about watching the kids use their own like social media as habits. Our son more than our daughter, but like the scrolling. And we were talking about this, like we're going to listen to this podcast together about anxious generation, sort of the habits that it's meant to incite in young people in your brains, because, like scrolling is built after a friggin', oh my gosh, why am I missing it? When you're in the casino, like what's the thing that you pull down?
Machine.
Slot machine. Thank you. I was like, why am I missing these words? It's literally built to look like a slot machine.
Yeah.
It hits the same places in your brain. It's like the dopamine centers. And I watch my son, like when he scrolls, it's like zing, zing, zing. And it's like watching slots. They're genius, just waiting for it.
Yeah.
And all the like sort of unearned dopamine just to try to like manage whatever he's anxious about, which is probably school, because he has a lot going on this summer and there's a lot happening. I get it. It's human nature. Yeah. But we need to transition, and we need to teach our children, I think, to move away from those things that make us angry and anxious, and into just better habits.
Yeah. I'm sitting here thinking about it like, hey, if you see me out on the road speaking and it looks like I'm in great shape, I'm really stressed. Because if I'm angry or stressed, like the gym is my go-to.
It is.
Well, last 2 days, what have I done? Early in the morning, gotten up,
the gym.
Gone and worked out. And it's like, okay, like I'm trying to feel better physically to get me to feel better emotionally.
And that's much better than it used to be. You used to just like eat your feelings constantly.
God, it was so much better.
I mean, you've really grown. I'm not kidding. Like you would just
eating my feelings
really
used
jump
to be my
into the
favorite thing.
Yes.
I want to go back to eating. Now I don't have the metabolism to be able to eat my feelings.
Who doesn't want to eat your feelings when you're feeling angry or anxious or all the things?
Let's play a little he said, she said, shall we?
Okay. Oh, I don't have a Matt, can you toss me one of those? Would you mind? Any color is great. Right behind you.
Don't have a marker.
I know. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's under my chair.
We got to write bigger
Thanks,
too,
sir.
because I've noticed.
Ah, yes, great.
I've noticed
okay.
when we're doing this in the past,
Too small?
it's not big enough.
Okay.
All right, Matt,
I'll
bring
work
it, baby.
really
Let's
hard.
do it.
All right. The first one is, what's your spouse's go-to angry phrase when they've had enough?
What's your spouse's go-to angry phrase?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he texted it to me yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
When
I
they-
don't know. Okay.
Spouse's go-to angry phrase when they've had enough. You got it?
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
3, 2, 1, show.
What's yours?
Mine
What'd you
just
say?
says loud. It's not a particular phrase. It's a volume.
Yeah.
When Molly has had enough, the volume gets real loud.
It's because it's this volume all
Yeah.
all the time. It's like on one of those heart rate things. It's
Which,
like net, net,
which
net,
makes
net,
me
net,
so
net, net,
mad.
Bing!
Because I'm like, just because you're louder doesn't mean you're right. That doesn't mean you're right. You're louder, but you're not right. What's
well,
mine?
and you're always loud.
What's my angry phrase?
You just say you just don't listen.
You don't listen.
Yeah.
That's because that's the thing that it's the thing
Incites
that
the
makes
rage.
me most angry. Hey, I've put together these thoughts in my head, and now they're coming out
Incites
as
the
words,
rage.
which has taken me a ton of effort.
Yep.
You're not
May I
listening.
use your eraser? Thanks
Yes.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Matt.
All
Good
right.
one. Next
That's-
question. as his heart rate is going up.
This one will also be good for that.
Great.
What's one topic that's guaranteed to start a heated debate between you?
Oh, one topic
Oh.
that's guaranteed. This is so easy.
Oh, is it?
One topic that's guaranteed to start a heated debate between us. I can't believe you're struggling with the answer to this.
Okay. Well,
3,
we have
2,
different
1,
answers. Go
go.
ahead. What'd you put? Money.
Money.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Hands
I put the
down.
kids.
Really?
Well, yeah. I think currently, because we both have a different approach to parenting them at the age that they are right now. I mean, do we want to have a debate about
What's
it right
what's
now?
different in our approach to parenting? the
You're
kids
way
right now?
easier on one than you are on the other. And
Shit, that's not wrong.
yeah. And so I'm trying to be, I feel like I have to play middleman a lot to like be consistent in terms of the way that we
God, I hate that
parent
you're right
them.
about that.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to be right. I'm just saying that is
I am harder
true
on
in our
one than
life.
I am
Yeah.
on the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I hate
and so
that
I'm
you're-
trying
oh, I
to
hate that
manage
you're right about
the
that.
equal standards. You don't have to be, I don't hate that I'm right. I'm just saying it's tricky. Kids are unique. They're their own human beings. Obviously, you're going to parent each one of them different. I don't expect it to be the same all the time, but you do need to parent them equally. And I do think some.
Are you harder on one than the other?
I think I try to offset yours.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't. I just am trying to offset and even out.
There's another
yours.
thing I'll bury deep down, never think about ever again.
Okay, Matt, these are awesome. Let's keep going.
So, what's your spouse's weirdest coping strategy when they're mad?
What's your spouse's
Weirdest coping
strategy when they're mad?
Oh.
Ooh, I can't believe you're answering this so quickly because I don't know what mine is. What's your spouse's weirdest coping strategy when they're mad? You ready?
Hold on. Okay.
3,
3, 2, 1.
2, 1. Oh, grinding my teeth and chewing my nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if it's anger, but anything where you're anxious, which you don't know when you're grinding your teeth at night because it's usually during the sleep, but I'll hear it in the
Yeah.
middle of the night, which you did last night.
What I do is I bury
Yeah.
my anger
Yes.
deep down, and it comes out when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Because then I grind my teeth.
Yeah, you do grind
And you'll
your
tell
teeth.
me like, "Hey, you
Yeah.
were grinding your teeth
Yeah.
so much last night." I'm like, "Great, had no idea."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
I was at the dentist yesterday, and
Yeah.
he's like, "You're a teeth grinder?"
yes.
Yeah, it's been a stressful couple days.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
Thanks, Dr. Bo, but I appreciate you
Yeah.
just calling it out for me right now. Yeah.
Mine
Yes.
is hand to mouth. Molly will do this thing
Yeah.
where she'll just like,
Yep.
"That's your tell."
Yeah. When
Mo-
I'm really in my head, like
Yes.
I'll walk around the house and do it, and I won't really notice that I'm doing it. And Cheryl will be like, "Why are you nervous, Mom?" I'm like, "I'm not nervous. I'm totally
I'm not
fine."
nervous. It's
You
like,
put my
you'll
hand
do
down.
this thing where just like you'll rub your bottom lip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to think I would bite my bottom lip a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I've transitioned to the rub. I don't know. It's very odd. Yeah,
I only bite my
okay.
bottom lip when I'm dancing, and I'm happy about it.
You get your whole lip
which
in there.
you love.
Oh, I do. Okay,
Yeah.
these are going in the right direction. Keep
Okay.
it coming, Matt. These are great.
Tell me if you feel like you've answered this one already. What's their tell when they're trying to hide that they're mad? Or do you feel like that's a different...
What's their tell when they're trying to hide? Molly's is the same. Molly's like, if Molly's trying to hide that she's mad, it's that.
Weston doesn't ever hide that he's mad. It's pretty
I think
obvious
I'm doing such a good
to
job.
everyone around.
Yeah.
No.
Your sister...
Like the kids will walk in the room and be like, what's going on? Oh my gosh. You know, like you just have a way.
It makes me so angry. But your sister is amazing at knowing when I'm mad. Because
she does have like a really sixth sense for
I
it.
could have
She just
seen her
walks in temperature.
like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, dude, why are you
What's
pissed?
your beef?
What's your deal?
What's going on?
And I'm like, shut up. You don't know me.
But she does.
And yet
she does so well.
And I get so mad.
Yeah.
I don't
it
like
makes
when
you
people know
angrier.
that. Yeah, it's like, oh, this just makes me more mad. Yeah. Okay.
She's
yeah.
very disarming though. She can say I can't. I'll be like, oh,
I know.
It's good. Okay.
All right. Who apologizes first after a fight?
Oh, good question.
Who apologizes first after a fight? Go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Did you say you?
None of us.
I said me.
Of course you said you.
So hold on. Let me qualify it because I didn't have time to write more, but I wanted to say a lot. I have so much to say about this. It depends on what we're arguing about. So sometimes if I'm just irritated or I'm sad or and I have to like rage and then get to actually the root of like the frustration, then I'll come to you and be like, hey, sorry, here's what's actually going on, or here's what I'm actually stressed out about, or here's where I actually feel like, I don't know, you're not hearing me at this issue and it stressed me out or whatever. So I think a lot of times when I feel like I'm in the wrong, I will come to you first. It takes a minute. It's not immediate. I'll give you that. It's not immediate.
No.
So when you said, like neither one of us, it's not immediate. It might be a good 12 to 24 hours later.
Yeah.
Before I can, before I'm ramped down enough.
We're on a 24-hour stretch right now.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
I'm stressed about.
I know. I was like, oh, you wrote all those things. I was like, I know exactly what you're stressed about.
I'm stressed about the items up there.
Yes, I know.
I am.
Yeah.
I am struggling with the fact that not that I'm getting older. Like I'm super happy to get older. Yeah. I'm struggling with the change that's already happening and about to happen in our family.
Yeah, it's a lot of life stuff, I think. It's less about me, although I'm sure I'm the one that you get frustrated or angry with at that moment. But I do understand we just are in a real transitional season of our life. Our kids are really getting big really quickly. And I think it's something, I mean, we're talking about anger, but it's the things that like sort of set you off that no one tells you is going to impact you the way it does. It impacts you.
Yeah.
And when your kids when they hit their teenage years, I'll never forget Stacey Keene saying to us years ago, and we were saying how quickly things have gone. And we kind of always have that, like we really want to hold on to time and how quickly things have gone. And she said, wait till they get to high school.
Yeah.
And it has never been truer in our life. Like things are just... we've said this, it feels like you're on a treadmill and people are just ramping up the speed all the time and you just are trying to run and keep up, and watching your children from day to day get bigger and bigger and bigger, like physically daily. And I think that's tricky. Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of transition.
And a big part of that for me, like I don't know if you know this about me, but I like control. And we
both do.
I have no control over the speed at which this is going and where it's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that lack of control gives me so much anxiousness and sadness, which then makes me angry. All the feels.
Yeah. And I think we don't talk about this as much as culture. Like I think for men sometimes, like when you're sad, this might be wrong, but I'll say for you, at least in my experience being married to you, when you're sad, it comes out as anger.
Totally.
Whereas when I'm sad, sometimes most of the time, I hope, it comes out as sad.
Yeah.
But when I'm really frustrated or angry, then it comes out as anger. I hope that I divvy them up a little bit better. I think, and I don't think it's necessarily unique to you. I just think culturally men are, don't cry, don't be sad,
men aren't
but
allowed
just
to
be
be
pissed.
Sad.
Yeah. And so I think
and
a
granted,
lot of the
like,
time.
Yeah, socially I get a lot of parts of that are changing, but a lot of that is still like men aren't allowed to be sad.
Yeah.
And so why? Because sad is like weak somehow.
Yeah.
And so like, oh man, I don't want to look weak in front of my wife or my children. So like my sadness will manifest as anger, because anger at least feels strong, like I have control, like I'm mad about this, versus like, oh, I'm sad, which feels very passive. And it feels like, oh, like I'm just receiving this as an emotion, and I'm going to sit with it.
Well, and I think what women need to do a better job at is maybe allowing that space, at least in our marriages or whatever else with the men in our life, because I grew up with two very, very emotive men and some really emotive uncles, and like a lot of men in my family, and there continue to be. There's a lot of little boys who are about to be men. Like it's all dudes all the time. So like it's great because there's a lot of experience, but I think maybe it might be helpful for men rather than anger. You know, I think for the women in our life to be like, hey, you can be as sad as you want, and it's not a weakness, but I still need to know that, like, you know, you're captaining the ship.
Right.
And you can feel however, you know, like you're not going to direct us. It's not going to derail us off the course of our family for you to be in this emotional state right now, you know? And I think like that distinction, women need to do a better job at, or just spouses in general, like need to do a better job of being like, hey, feel how you feel. Yeah. But just, you're still, you know, you're still captaining the ship. You still got this plane and you're flying it, and how whatever we come across, whatever bumps we come across.
God, I'm captaining a ship and flying a plane.
I know. It's very all the mixed metaphors.
All right,
please.
bring us home, Matt.
Yeah, last one.
All right, one more. What food instantly turns their mood from furious to fine?
Oh.
Or if it's what food, or if that's just, if you don't feel that's true, I think you can put whatever else turns their mood from furious to fine.
What food immediately turns my wife's mood from furious to fine? The answer in 3, 2, 1. Not food at all.
There's no food in that
wine.
Scenario.
Also, 100% accurate. Pizza and ice cream.
Yeah. I said we just talked about eating our feelings. Like, this is an easy tell. Like, this might be the easiest thing for me to answer the whole time.
No, it's really funny. So I just took the boys up to camp at the University of Northern Colorado. Yes. They were there for 3 days. Great. I was there for 3 days with them, coaching football. And the day that I had left, I was sort of like in a mood and in my feelings. Yes. You know what I had for dinner? Pizza. In the cafeteria? Pizza, and then I ate 2 ice cream cones. That's all I had.
That's great.
I ate pizza and ice cream.
I mean, at least you're consistent. You really are consistent when it comes to that.
And then I felt like shit about it.
Okay, well then you went and worked out, and here the cycle begins.
And now I'm in a real workout phase.
We're fine.
About to be, hey, you're about to see me on the road this
Just
August.
Like this, everybody.
Probably going to be pretty jacked because I'm real stressed.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You know, here's the great thing, and even like last night, that provides me comfort. It's like, we're not alone.
No.
We're not the first people to have teenagers or feel like you're doing it or be stressed about work or stressed about the economy or stressed, you know, like, this too shall pass. Yeah. And it's all happening right now in the season that we're in, and it feels like a lot, feels really heavy, because it is. Yeah. I'm not trying to, like, again, put my head in the sand and not, give it the weight that it deserves, because it is heavy, but it's not for forever, and we're not the first people to navigate it. And I just think, like, it's going to be okay. And we did have a really nice, like, beginning of the summer. Like, we had this really beautiful trip, and we got to travel with one of our friends, and he just was so complimentary of our children and, like, how well-adjusted they are and how great they are and, like, good conversationalists. And I said, oh, can you please keep telling me this? Because all I see are all the stuff we're not doing as parents, and that gives me anxious, vibes all the time. I live in that constant anxious state as a parent, which we all do. So it's nice to get other people's perspective and know that we're not screwing it up entirely.
Not entirely.
And so you don't need to be angry about it.
Okay,
it's going to be okay.
Great. I'll just be sad. That'll do it.
Sad. That's okay. There you go.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Teaching Keating. As always, find us anywhere podcasts are listened to. Find us on YouTube. Guys, thanks. Subscribe. Hit subscribe to the podcast. Yeah. It really helps us out.
It does.
We're just a couple of married parent educators just trying to make this thing happen.
Do our thing.
Know that we're so grateful to you guys for listening, and we'll catch you on next week's episode. Be well.